Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
The State Department has upgraded a travel advisory to Canada. What's behind the change and what that means for families who want to visit our neighbor.
But first, State Representative Juel Jones offers to write vaccination exemption letters as the Delta variant continues to surge here in Michigan. That tops our news tonight at 6. The state representative, of course, already facing drunk driving criminal charges and a widely publicized arrest on I-96 earlier this year.
Well, now his stance on vaccinations is raising eyebrows. Rod Maloney live tonight with a look at what's behind this latest very public controversy involving Jones. Rod?
Yeah, Kimberly and Devin, you know, the state representative from Inkster is decidedly anti-vaccine, and it's very public now, and it's certainly raising eyebrows with the legislative leadership in Lansing.
Big Gretch is the homie. Okay. If she finds out about this, she might be a little upset about the treatment.
Democratic State Representative Juel Jones wanted everyone to know that he's close to Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer after MSP officers arrested him for allegedly driving drunk. Now on Instagram, he's showing he's not close at all with Governor Whitmer and her oft-repeated advice about getting vaccinated. He posted this for anyone who might want one, a letter endorsing them for an exemption from the COVID vaccine. He wrote, quote, "While I cannot make any promises that my recommendations to you and my letter in support of whatever you're submitting will solve any of your problems or prevent any kind of potential blowback, I am happy to let you know that I went through an exemption process at my university and received a successful exemption." He accompanied that post with another, showing actor John Hamm in a meme, quote, "Stop saying you did your research before you got the injection. You are the research," end quote. Well, tonight, House Democratic leader Donald Lisinski is reacting, saying in a statement, quote, "As House Democratic leader, I stand with the well-documented science showing that COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. With the Delta variant once again filling hospitals with largely unvaccinated patients and stretching our healthcare workers to their limit, we need shots in arms to make it safe for students and teachers returning to classrooms, for business to remain open, and to put this pandemic behind us once and for all." Now, we did reach out to the state representative. We were able to get to him by phone. We weren't able to talk to him. We did text back and forth with him briefly. He did not want to talk about this situation, but he did say that he was going to get a COVID test tonight, and he also had some studying to do, but he might talk to us later about it, so we'll certainly stay in touch with him to see if he has more to say. Reporting live, Rod Malone, Local 4.
We'll see what happens. Okay, Rod, thanks.
Standardized test scores drop during the pandemic for most of Michigan students. M-STEP scores were lower for every grade tested in math and social studies, and for most in reading. Meanwhile, Florida withholds money from 2 counties that went against its governor's ban on mask mandates, even after a judge ruled that that ban is unconstitutional. Department of Health and Human Services data shows Florida and 4 other southern states have less than 10% of their ICU beds open at the moment.
And as coronavirus cases continue to rise, the U.S. State Department has raised its travel advisory alert for Canada.
Now at a level 3, which means reconsider travel. You are looking live through our Windsor Skycam. Let's send it out to Priya Mann, who has a look at what this change in status means. Priya?
Well, Devin, Kim, you know, if you're a family who is thinking of taking a quick trip to Canada, the State Department and the CDC are urging you to rethink those plans as COVID continues to spread in clusters on both sides of the border.
Not surprising, any changes that happen are happening on a moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis.
On Tuesday, the State Department raised its travel advisory alert for Canada to a level 3, reconsider travel.
You have to look at each province, see what's going on in those areas, and then make a really good decision based on what you feel you're comfortable with.
The State Department's decision follows the CDC, which issued a level 3 travel health notice indicating high levels of COVID-19 in Canada. Local 4's Frank McGeorge explains.
The CDC monitors the health risk for travelers to other countries for all kinds of diseases, and then they issue warnings and advisories to really help travelers make the best decisions for their particular circumstance. Now, cases in Canada are on the rise, so an elevated risk was announced, although, to be fair, there's also an elevated risk of going to Florida or even Mississippi right now. The big difference, obviously, is just the international border.
The State Department's travel advisory is 4 tiers. On August 10th, Canada was at a level 2, exercise increased caution.
in. But 3 weeks later, as cases in Canada climb, the travel advisory has been upgraded to a level 3.
Pay attention to the State Department warnings. Pay attention to each country to see what their numbers are, what their warnings are, what the restrictions are.
Now, if you are crossing into Canada, you will have to show proof of your vaccination status. It's also important to note that the restrictions on Canadians coming into the country remains in place. Reporting live from the Ambassador Bridge, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Okay, we appreciate the update, Priya.
President Biden addressing the nation regarding his decision to pull U.S. troops out of Afghanistan. He spoke about the agreement made during the Trump administration and says it authorized the release of 5,000 prisoners last year, including some of the Taliban's top war commanders, among those who just took control of the country.
By the time I came to office, the Taliban was in its strongest military position since 2001. So we were left with a simple decision. Either follow through on the commitment made by the last administration and leave Afghanistan, or say we weren't leaving and commit another tens of thousands more troops going back to war. That was the choice, the real choice.
The President said leaving Afghanistan by August 31st was not an arbitrary deadline, but, quote, designed to save American lives.
While the evacuation mission has ended, there are still, though, a lot of families desperately trying to get out of Afghanistan.
Yeah, last week we told you about a local attorney raising money to fund rescue missions. Larry Spruill spoke with him today. He told you there's still a lot of those who they're trying to help, Larry.
Well, Kimberly and Devin, we are talking about hundreds of people that they are still trying to rescue. And he admits that things are more dangerous now, but they will not give up. A 20-year war with Afghanistan is over, but there are people there who need help and want out.
We want to make sure that those who helped us were able to get out safely, and that's kind of what we're working on right now. So, we are not giving up. Our people are still in Afghanistan.
Attorney Mario Tallarico says although the war is over, the mission to save Afghanistans who helped America is still ongoing.
With the departure of the military, it's been a little more complicated to evacuate people, but our team of veterans, former DOD civilians, professionals, we're very relentless. We are not giving up.
Tallarico is working with his aunt. Her name is Ann Tallarico. She is a retired Army major who served in Afghanistan and a former Detroit paramedic. She founded a medical clinic in the Afghan capital in 2012. Her friends forced into hiding once the Taliban moved in.
We are certainly doing everything we can to help them out and get that out of the country immediately.
They have already rescued many, including this woman who worked at the clinic. She's currently living in our nation's capital with her family.
So we've evacuated just about 100 people, and our clinic still has several hundred that are still in country.
He says here in Michigan, he's raising funds and charter planes to assist with this mission.
Because this is a self-funded, completely private partnership, we were receiving no support in terms of financial support from the government. We need more help. We need more people who are willing to help us.
And he says they are already planning more rescue missions in the near future as we speak. And there is a GoFundMe account set up called Operation We Care. If you want to donate, you can. That information is on our website. Click on Detroit.com. We're live tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
All right, Larry. So with the evacuation now generally complete, new fears about ISIS-K in the region. That's ahead at 6:30 on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
A federal judge stops a vaccine mandate for athletes at Western Michigan University after soccer players sue the school. The district court judge says the players cannot be kicked off the team until they get a full hearing. The ruling happened on the deadline for players to get their first vaccine. The players claim the vaccine mandate violates their right to religious freedom and their right to make personal medical decisions.
Every week brings new issues, so every week brings new questions. For instance, can you get your COVID booster and your flu shot at the same time?
A lot of people want to know. Our director Frank McGeorge joins us with the answer coming up in just a few minutes. But first, here's Andrew.
And Kimberly and Devin, no issues weather-wise, thankfully. We have mostly cloudy skies, but no rain falling, and it is warm and comfortable with 77 degrees over at Metro Airport. How long can we keep this going? The sunshine come back tomorrow. That and your full holiday weekend forecast and a new tropical depression I'll talk about too in your weather forecast.